hey there. So I'm pretty excited for several reasons. One, I got laser eye surgery recently. So I'm pretty excited about that because, you know, I've always wanted to be a superhero. The problem is that I still can't shoot lasers out of my eyes. And I don't know, like, am I doing it wrong or should I go ask for a refund? Drew, you got any ideas? He says no. And he's shaking his head and looking at the ground like he's embarrassed for me. All right, that's fair. So today I've got some real truss issues, and that is that we got this truss all delivered, so that was good. And then we're drilling piers and holes in all this concrete. Jared's dancing. He's a great dancer. He's really amazing, solid gold. And then we're gonna get all the forms set for this and all the forms set for the other building over there, and that's exciting. We've got temporary power set up. We're gonna get gravel delivered here, so yay. And then back on that garage, we'll go back over there and work on that a little bit. Now, I want to talk to you guys about a couple more things. Number A, I got my music up on Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes and Pandora and basically all the streaming platforms. If you look up Angels Unaware, I've got 3 albums that I put up there. Everybody told me to do it one by one, like one song at a time every 2 months. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy. So I just did 3 albums. My Soul the Prize, I Heard God Cry, beautiful soul. They're wonderful. All right, so I want to talk to you about good intentions. So it is said, not in the Bible, but it is said that good intentions pave the road to hell. What does that mean? Drew, you got any ideas? What it means is this. We all know people that say, oh man, I'm gonna do this thing. Oh man, I'm gonna help you out. But then when it comes down to it, they never really do it. They just talk a lot and they don't actually ever do anything. And so actually it's worse than if they just didn't say they were gonna do it at all. Because not only are you not doing it, but you're promising that you will do it, and then you don't do it, and you make excuses, and it gets really old really quick. So oftentimes I think that, you know, we're like, oh man, I intend to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing. I'm going to do good, and you tell everybody you're going to, but you never do. Well, those good intentions are paving the road to hell because you're never actually making a change. You're never actually doing anything different. You're just talking about it, and the only person you're fooling is yourself. So I think that rather than just having good intentions, either A, under promise and over deliver, or B, actually do what you say you're going to do, because that will definitely make quite an impact on people and on your own personal life. All right, love you guys. I'm going to get back to work. Oh, hey there. So I'm very, very, very excited because today we're going to pour concrete. This is the main house. You can see that's the garage over there, and then this is another garage over here, 30 by 40 shop. So how exciting is that? And then this is like a ride at Six Flags, only it's for concrete. So the concrete comes in here and then it goes whee, and then it finds its eternal home. Yeah. Now Jared did all this work, and he was very smart. He's holding the camera right now. So Jared, would you say this thing is perfectly square?
Man, I got 99 problems and an inch ain't one of them.
Did you say you got 99 problems and an inch ain't one?
That's correct, boss.
Wow, that's solid. No, we measured this a lot. It's very square. So I've got some bad news. Please keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I accidentally cut my pinky toe off, and the dog. Yeah, well, you can't see it right now; it's in my shoe. But the doctors replaced it with a breath mint. So now I have a tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe.
That's it.
Got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Boone, probably one of the smartest people in concrete that I know.
Don't you?
So. To all the children out there, they're like, one day I want to grow up and do concrete. Do you have any advice for them?
Yes. Learn Spanish.
Yes.
And don't do concrete.
So show me some Spanish. I know some Spanish.
I know some like habla español, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Poquito. Chiquito,
That means a little.
A little bit. Poquito español.
So I'm going to teach you some Spanish because I'm pretty smart.
Go ahead.
All right, ready? S-O-C-K-S.
Don't sorry.
I just spelled socks. Okay, so it sounds kind of Spanish though, doesn't it? All right, so tell me what's going on here. What is all this stuff? I don't understand it.
Okay, so right here we have actual number 4 on 18-inch centers.
What does that mean to people that don't know?
What does that mean? Number 4 is half-inch rebar.
Okay.
Why do you put half-inch rebar in a residential foundation?
Yep.
It's because this is kind of on some sandy soil. You know, the Bible talks about sandy soil, right?
Yeah.
Because it can destroy a home if the floods come and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How we overcame the floods and torrents and stuff that's going to damage the house is we just built it really freaking strong.
Yeah.
And we also put some piers in it.
So is that what this ginormous hole is here?
Yeah. So anyway, that's going to help stabilize this foundation. So we're excited. We got concrete going to show up in about 20 minutes now.
There's some more people.
There's some more people.
How many people you got here?
We have
Looks
some
like
people.
several, right? They're doing things, sitting there, keeping their truck weighted down. That's
Oh
important.
yeah, you need some finishers. So if you do concrete work, just make sure you drink a lot of water. And you know what? If you're not in shape, keep doing concrete work. You'll get in pretty good shape. I promise you that.
Round is a shape.
Round is a shape. That's right.
Maybe a different shape. Maybe
Yeah,
like a good human shape.
You'll get like more of a cylinder shape.
Hey there. So, I want to show you guys what teamwork can do. Now, I think, I've talked about this before, but I think that if we had enough hands and enough people would all agree at the same time, we could probably lift the whole earth. But we're not doing that today. I mean, I don't know about the math on that. It'd probably take a lot of hands. I don't know what you'd have to push against. We're gonna leave that alone. Anyway, what we are gonna do is they're moving all this earth, which is concrete. And you can tell they're a team, right? So everybody knows their part, everybody knows their place. And these guys have what's called a screed board, or straight edge, right? So that's magnesium or aluminum? Aluminum. So it's lightweight, but it's very straight and very strong. Kind of like me, except for the strong part, but definitely very straight. And so they do that, but then these guys have what's called a come along, and it looks like a rake with no points on it, right? And so they push some concrete towards them, or they pull some concrete away from them. Ooh, that's wonderful. And then they get this kind of smooth. But then over here, he's got a bull float, and this thing is magnificent. So what happens is
That would not be made out of magnesium.
that probably is magnesium. So he twists it one way and it angles out like that, and then watch, he twists it the other way, ready? And then it angles towards us, and then he can just smooths all that rough part out. And that's kind of the first step in making concrete smooth, which I think is beautiful. And I am so impressed. I want you guys to know that some of the hardest work in the world, and I've done a lot of hard work. Oh, stop on the rides here. I've done a lot of hard work. Some of the hardest work in the world is concrete, roofing, and picking fruit. I've done all three of them. Every one of them, you're like, whew, I'm exhausted. So that sound means that they're either going to start pouring more concrete or they're going to stop pouring concrete. That's the sound. So this pump truck is pretty cool too. And this guy over here, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
This guy over here is wirelessly controlling all that, right? So he told me that there's 5 different pieces to this concrete pump truck, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he can control all those individually, and then obviously pivot around and then get his RPMs and get how much concrete is coming in and a whole bunch of things. And so he said with a lot of practice you can learn how to do that. And I'm like, I don't think I'm that smart. I think I'm really a very basic guy. Like, I'm a very blunt instrument. So when people look at me, they just think, you could do some stuff. I'm like, not much. I'm not that smart. So this one's almost poured, so they're gonna keep on smoothing this out, but then we're gonna go over here and swing this arm around and get this other stuff poured. So I'm very, very excited. Tomorrow we frame. Hola. Do you like my hat? I got this because it's very hot outside. It's 105 degrees in the shade, 6 feet over grass. And we're not in the shade, we're out here in the sun. And so I'm turning red like lobster, languistas. So anyway, we got the concrete done. And over here we got concrete done. I don't know if you can see that over there, but it is beautiful. And we're so very excited. And tomorrow we're gonna frame. So we got trusses right here. And then in the morning, we got all kind of stuff getting delivered, and we got power, and we're ready to do it. All right, so Trevor, what's on your heart?
Patience.
Patience is a good thing, yeah. So here's what happens. A lot of times people are like, God, I want patience. And I'm over here like this, like, oh, bro, I don't know if you should ask for that. Because you know how you get patience? A whole bunch of bad stuff happens to you. Like a whole bunch, like way more than you thought would happen. Like, it's gonna be real, real bad for a long time until finally you're worn down and you're just like, whatever. It's not that bad. So like, let me equate this to a story that happened to me. Several years back, my mom was associated with somebody, and they were like, they were gonna do a expedition to the North Pole. They were trying to raise $1 million to like get an icebreaker ship to go all the way to the North Pole, and they wanted me to film it. And I'm like, I hate cold. I hate it. But I was like, yeah, I'll go. Needless to say, I didn't. But the reason why I said yes, I would go, even though it's freezing cold, is because I was thinking, you know, years from now, when I don't have fingers because of frostbite, or a nose, or maybe a tongue, or toes, extremities, they're all gone, that I'd be at a party, like, you know, eating quietly, And people be bragging like, I'm a heart surgeon. Somebody like, I'm a brain surgeon. Somebody else like, well, I'm a rocket scientist. And somebody else like, oh yeah, well, I'm an astronaut. And I'm just over there quietly eating. And they're like, well, John, what about you? I said, me? Nothing. I just went on an expedition to the North Pole. And they're all like, oh. That wouldn't really happen. I'm so glad I didn't go. Because look, fingers and toes. I love it. And I got my nose and everything. It's beautiful. Beautiful. All right, see you guys in the morning. Bye. Oh, hey there. So, this is embarrassing, right? But last night, I got up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and none of it hit the toilet. Like, it just went on either side. And I was like, no more split pea soup for me. No, sir. All right, so building materials got here very late today. It was about 28 minutes ago. Home Depot came. They dropped all the stuff off. We didn't get a lot done, but we got something done. So I finally feel like we did something. Tomorrow we should hopefully frame most of the rest of this, and then maybe Monday we start putting up trusses. So that's pretty exciting now. Usually I don't complain about people, and I don't like to put my business out there because, you know, I'm a very private person. But to the guy that stole my camouflage jacket in a wheelchair, I just want you to know you can hide, but you can't run. Oh, hey there. Do you guys know Alan? He's amazing. Tell him how amazing you are.
I'm amazing, so John says.
So I say, because it's accurate. All right, so it's very hot out here. It's 106 in the shade, 6 feet over grass. And so it's very important to wear a hat. And I got a big fat hat. And Alan, show me your hat.
I'm the new sheriff in town hat.
It's so cute though. Like, I just want to pick you up and be like, come on, Alan, let's go get you a juice box. It's so cute.
I was thinking ice cream cone.
That's fine. So I guess a recent scientific study just further proved my point that 4 out of 5 people make up 80% of the population. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah. So as you can tell, we've been framing this morning. We haven't done a lot, but we've done what feels like a lot in the heat. I think that if it was 30 degrees cooler, we'd have done twice as much, maybe more. I don't know. I do want to talk to you guys about one other thing, and I want you to think about this real hard. You don't have to agree with literally anything anybody does or says or believes to be kind to them. That's very important. So I know that you're constantly like, they're trying to divide us all the time, and like, I hate them because, and they're wrong because, and Democrats hate Republicans, and everybody blah, blah, blah. They all, you know, race wars and what have you. We don't have to agree on anything at all for us to be kind to each other. We can still be nice. It's very important. Everybody's like, blah, 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 what we need is love. I'm like, well, then do it. Even if you disagree with them, even if you like are morally opposed to everything they do, still be nice. It's important. We're gonna get back over here and try to get sunburn. I think we're gonna do it. Oh, hey there. So we are not gonna win any awards for speed today. Like, all we did was frame this up, but we didn't even get the garage, and there's a couple little knickknacks we still have to touch up. So I'm pretty embarrassed, but it was very hot. In fact, there was a point during the day where I was like, it is very hot in here, and I wanted to cool off. And so we went to a neighbor's house, and I was like, can I just put my head in your oven? Just turn it on to 350 so I can cool off a little bit. And they were very kind, they did. So thank God for that. So hopefully Monday we're gonna get the rest of this framed up, and then we'll start doing trusses. So that's very exciting. Now, it is a very small-minded man who thinks that money is the most important thing in life, because money is not the most important thing in life. You need it, we understand that. You should manage it well, but it's not the most important thing. And anybody who thinks that, I'm just like, I feel sorry for you, because there's so much more to life. You need to make sure that you treat people right first, and then that you cover your bills. You need to make sure that you're kind to people, and that you cover your bills. You need to make sure that you're honest and true to God, and then you cover your bills. But if you do that, I promise you'll be blessed. If you think that making more and more and more and more money is gonna be the answer to your life's problems, it's not. You look at people, you know, I forget what the percentage is, but lottery winners, 80% or something like that, are bankrupt in 2 years. Like, you don't know how to manage your money, and that's what the problem is. But you need to understand that if you are kind to people and loving to people, the rest will fall into place. So hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm gonna go see Jimmy play, because I love Jimmy and Chris, and they're amazing, and Lindsay, and tomorrow's church. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Love you. Hey there. So this morning we finished up the framing. It took moments. Now we're gonna start doing the sheathing. That's the plywood right there. It's OSB. See, it's got 3 white stripes. That's how you tell Home Depot it's at. We're We got to put that on there. That's wind bracing, and it locks it all in, makes it tight. So right now, this looks pretty solid, but if you shake it, it'll all wobble. We don't want that. So we're gonna put this on there, and then that's kind of our underlayment also for hardy backer, which I've explained to you guys, I don't know how many times. Like, I think by this point, you should understand this. Okay, so years ago, I was doing a show, and there was a presenter, and he had climbed Mount Everest. They made a movie about him. It was called Everest, with Josh Brolin. Anyway, the real guy, he had frozen in the snow. They left him for dead, and he froze off one of his hands and most of the other hand, and his nose. They had to take part of his butt and put on his nose, and toes, and all kind of extremities, right? And while we were doing the show, the question was asked, could this have been prevented if he would have drank antifreeze? It's something I think about a lot. Oh, hey there. So today, I don't know if you can tell, but the sun is like still straight up in the sky because we've been working for like, I don't know, 11 minutes or something. We got the rest of this frame over here. We got the front framed, which is great. We got some trusses up over here, which is amazing. We built the gable and the eaves, which is also amazing. Now we've got these big trusses behind us, and makes me dizzy. So exciting. We're gonna get a SkyTrack tomorrow. Justin Fluke helped us out. He's amazing. If you need something rented or you need a rental, then call Justin because he knows everybody and everything. He gets some great deals, and I love him. All right, so then we're gonna get these trusses. We're gonna lift them way up and get them in place. And we're gonna put them. We put all these blocks in there so that we would have a place to put all the trusses and nail them off, right? And then we'll get OSB on there, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, Wednesday. It was so nice today because there was a breeze and a cool front came through. I don't know if you remember on Friday and Saturday, it was 107, but a cool front came through. It was only 102 today. It was not bad. And I think with this breeze, it feels like it's maybe 101, maybe just 100, which is like in Texas, summer is just like heaven, you know, like, and a lot of times people are like, man, you think this is hot, just wait till you get to hell. I'm like, that's not very nice. All right, so I want to emphasize, so they're building a metal shop, they're building a metal building back there that is a shop. And today, one of their guys fell, not on my crew, but somebody else's guy. The ladder was up there, the wind blew hard, and it blew this whole gable, and it knocked him off the ladder, and he fell. He almost hit his head on concrete and fell 10 or 12 feet, and that would have been horrible. We were all like, no! But he was okay, and he bounced off the ground and immediately got up and ran over to help the other guy to push it back up. Didn't even wait to see if he was okay. Didn't wait to be like, am I hurt or whatever. He just ran to help the next person. And I'm like, that is admirable. Now, obviously, I want him to be safe, right, and don't do dumb things. But at the same time, I think it's important. You know, a lot of us will act like, if I win, I can't win unless you lose, right? I can't win unless somebody else loses. Only one person can be a winner, and everybody else has to be kind of the loser in the situation. And that is the worst mentality ever. The truth is, I don't win unless we all win. You don't win unless we all win. If I get to the top, I better reach down and lift the next person up, and the next person up, and the next person up until everybody's at that level, and then we climb some more. And if they get ahead of me, then maybe they lift their hand up and they help me, and we just keep going until everybody's at the top, because the only way that we really win is if all of us win. That's how life should be lived. Oh, hey there. So we started getting trusses up. We got the SkyTrack. It's amazing. We got these trusses up yesterday, and we got plywood decking up there and built the eaves and everything. So the first three are the hardest trusses to do, okay? We got to get one up there and then brace it off these walls, and then we got to get the other two and brace those off of each other. And let me just tell you, I don't know if you can tell what the wind is doing, but it is unbelievable. If I was a weatherman, I'd be like this, oh, it's a hurricane. But it's not a hurricane, but it's very windy. So anyway, we're gonna keep doing that. We're gonna get these trusses up, and then we're gonna get some decking on them because this is dangerous. Now, I don't know if you guys do this too, but every once in a while I'll be walking around and I'll look down, I'll be like, oh, there's like a screw or a spare part or whatever. And I just always assume, I don't know if you guys do this, but I always assume that's just, you know, my life falling apart. Did you know that God answers prayers today? And you don't have to post them on Facebook, and you don't have to pray for things that just seem like they're possible. You can pray for things that are impossible. Like, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Oh, that I could fly or win the lottery? Those things are very possible. What I'm talking about is somebody's heart changes. That's very impossible. But you leave it in God's hands, and all of a sudden, good things happen. All right, so today we've been cursed by the wind plague. I think we had the corona plague, and now we got the wind plague. It's been going on for the better part of a year now. Anyway, it stopped us short. You can tell the sun's straight up in the sky, but we got to stop because it's so windy we can't hardly do anything. We had to come inside to make a video because otherwise it would be like a tornado. So we got some trusses up. I'm very grateful for that. and we braced everything off. Now let me just show you what that means, okay? So I've talked to you guys about shear strength before, but we put this truss up first, and it would have just fallen over, right? So we had to brace it off of here, and then stick it up there, brace it off there, and brace it off there, so that it wouldn't fall over. Then from that point, we got the next two, we put those together, we braced all that, and it was locked together as one big thing. And then from that point, we just kept bracing off of them until we got to the far end. Now, you can probably tell there's zigzag crisscross stuff, and we nailed those because what happens when you're perpendicular, right, stuff will shift, and the wind is horrible right now. But if you got a 45 on there, then all of a sudden it locks it in. And so that's why we did this on the walls right here. We did over here, you can see we did on the walls, right here we did on the walls. And so that way, when you push on the walls, they don't move. But otherwise, you're wobble, wobble, wobble. And what I don't want is a deck of cards. And at the end of the day, we leave and we're like, yeah, we did a great job. We come back tomorrow, it's all on the ground. I'm like, well, that's gonna be a difficult one to explain. We don't want that, right, Alan?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. So we took precautions. Hopefully, there's not a tornado. I think the wind's supposed to stop right as the sun goes down tonight, which is perfect timing. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. I am so excited, and let me tell you why. Do you see all those trusses over there? Trust me, they were not easy. I said, trust me. But they're up, and look at all of this. We got fingers and toes. Nobody fell or got hurt. Everybody's going home happy. We all ate lunch today. We had funny stories. We got some of the best medicine, and by that I mean laughter. And we got some decking up. So tomorrow, that leaves us getting quite a bit done in hopefully a little bit of time. So we're gonna get decking on the rest of it, build these eaves, build those eaves, and start doing soffit and fascia and stuff like that. So how exciting, huh? We're very, very excited. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine last night. I was doing an open mic, and he said, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, maybe less, I had talked to him. Of course, I don't remember this because I talk a lot. But he said, you asked me, how close are you to circling the drain? Like, how close are you to poverty and homelessness? He goes, are you just circling the drain? Are you that close that you're in the final spin, or are you off somewhere else in the bathtub? Are you a paycheck away from poverty? It doesn't matter how much you make. You might be like, I make $1 million a year. I don't care. Do you spend $1.5 million? In that case, you're a paycheck away from poverty. If one bad thing happens, if all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got a broken arm, or my car had a whatever, or anything out of what you expect to happen, you are stretched too far, and you're a paycheck away from poverty, and all of a sudden you might get lucky and oh, things worked out. I hope they do. But if you keep yourself living at that level, you will always be under stress. You'll always be you feel anxious, and you feel like, I don't know why I can't sleep, and I just am constantly worrying about things. That's why. Stop living like that. Live below your means. Whatever your means are, if you're like, I can afford this, live at this. Keep the rest and be like, I can breathe. And you know what? I might not have the fanciest car, but you know what I do have? Peace and happiness. And I think that's very important. So he said he applied that to his life, and he's like, all of his other musician friends are living at their mom's house, living at their girlfriend's house, crashing on somebody's couch. And he's like, I own my own house, and I do a lot of things, and I play big shows. I'm like, good for you. Good for you. But he's like, I always remember what you said. And every time things start getting rough, I'm like, how close am I to circling the drain? Don't be that person. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, so I didn't make a bunch of videos today. Oh, hey there. So, I guess I didn't show you the inside of the house. So this is what we've got. We framed this up yesterday. Today we're gonna put decking all over it, and we're gonna do some finishing touches. So this is day 6 on this house, which is, makes me happy. We got progress going on. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and she expressed that she didn't feel pretty anymore. And it dawned on me that a lot of times people don't, right? So they feel like, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I'm not as this as I used to be, and I'm not as skinny as I used to be, and whatever. And the world just lies to us. And I want you guys to know that you are beautiful. You're beautiful people. You're made in the image of God. And you don't have to be a toothpick. You don't have to be 14 years old or 18 years old or whatever in the world the media tells you. They're trying to sell you something, or they're mad at themselves and they're hateful because they hate themselves. And they're taking that out on you, and they're trying to make you feel guilty so that you will buy their products. But you're better than that. So don't, that was loud. Don't believe those lies. You're a beautiful person. Be encouraged. And you know what? If you want a beauty tip, I've got one. Are you ready for this?
No.
Smile more. It always makes you beautiful. With current gas prices, a lot of people are coming down with car owner virus. Is that how you say it? Is it car owner virus?
That's it.
But I think if you eat too many bananas, and like we've been monkeying around up here, isn't there some new disease that's going to apply to us with that? Like chicken pox, but for monkeys?
Ape dots?
Ape dots?
Ape dots.
Ape dots. Monkey pox. That's what it is. Monkey pox, yeah. Did I already tell you my amnesia joke? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, so we got all this decking up, not all of it, but a significant portion of it. And we're gonna go get lunch because we're doing our part to end world hunger, and you're welcome for that. Now, I hope everybody out there watched the last video and you're like, I feel more beautiful. Because you are beautiful. I think you're beautiful, God thinks you're beautiful. There's probably people that are like, you're my hero. I wish you would give me the time of day. And you don't give them the time of day, and they're like, they're so rude. I've had that happen. I had somebody like 30 years later, they said, man, you're always too cool to hang out with me. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're always too cool to hang out with me. And they're like, no, it wasn't like that. I'm not cool. I wasn't cool then. I'm not cool now. Poof. A roof. All right, so speaking of roofies, I was at this gas station, and this janitor lady was like, hey, you want to go smoke some weed? And I'm like, no. I don't deal with high maintenance women. That's all I got. So obviously today we did more work. It looks not so bad. This is day 6, I think, since we poured concrete. So today's Thursday? Oh, it's Throwback Thursday, because last Thursday we poured this concrete. And then here we are. And of course we take Sundays off because we're doing that. But I think everybody knows that, so it's kind of a moot point. Is that how you say it? A moot point? It's like what a cow thinks. Like, who cares? Like, nobody cares what a cow thinks. It's irrelevant. Oh, hey there. So I only assume that since the sun's up this high that you guys are probably just like getting out of bed and getting your first cup of coffee. I assume you do 7 before you start doing your work at home routine. Anyway, a lot of people ask me like, why do you have this sticking out like this? And I want to explain it. So these are trusses or rafters, right? So a rafter is technically this part of it, but the truss is the whole thing put together. And they all come up, right? So this is a gable end, which means if we just had another truss right here, then you wouldn't have an overhang on your roof. It would just come flat down because there's nothing overhang. If we just try to put a piece from here out, it would hang off, right? That's not good. So we drop this down 3.5 inches lower, because this is 3.5 inches, and then we put this on. So I'll show you. Remember, safety first, kids. It's important to be tied off. So now, what happens is you've got all this board right here supporting just a little bit right here. Then we put a board across this whole thing, and then we can put decking on it. So that's how that works. Now, if you're like me, you think a lot. And what I've been thinking about is, I'd really like to see a documentary about Morgan Freeman that's narrated by wild animals. I just think that would be really cool. The problem is, there are no baby butterflies. Thanks, oh Biden.